Hi, welcome to another cooking show of Boston Carl Cooks. Today I am going to make meatballs and gravy, not sauce, gravy. I was married to an Italian and they call it gravy. So anybody asked last time, these are peppers, okay? They thought they were bugs or something, but they're peppers. Anyways, this is everything you're gonna need. Oh, first let me tell you a little thing I found. We all hate using a dull knife. You can spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on a knife sharpener. I was at Kmart checking out all these knife sharpeners because you can't go to like Debucci's and the guy on Green Street isn't there anymore. You drop your knives off and get them sharpened. Or the guy used to come around in the cart and sharpen them. Anyways, this little device here, it says coarse for really dull knives and then fine. That's all you do is put it down and run it through like 5 or 6 times and you would not believe the edge you get on it. And you get the burrs off of it and I'm telling you, it's sharp, real sharp. $5 at Kmart. I highly recommend it. Anyways, let's get to cooking. Alright, this is everything I got. I got to make the meatballs and the gravy. I've got tomato paste, pastine, kitchen ready tomatoes, ground and peeled, that's what I use. I got tomato paste here, olive oil, chopped up parsley, chopped up fresh basil, chopped up garlic, panko, salt, pepper, about a half a cup of milk, panko breadcrumb, and 2 eggs. This is cheese, I'm sorry. This is panko. And 2 eggs that I whipped up. I didn't put them in whole because, they'll all get mixed anyways. Like I did before, I'm going to saute my onions because I like them cooked and I like them a little sweet. And throw these in here. And we're going to sweat these out, and I got a lot of compliments on why I put sugar in with the onions. And I was taught that from a chef, and it does make a difference. Onions are sweet, so you want to sweeten them up a little more. So I got some sugar here. So I'm just going to sprinkle in a little sugar. That'll caramelize them quicker, and you want them sweet. Now, I'm using a crock pot today to do my sauce. And this is my crock pot here. I'm waiting for it to heat up a little bit. Now, my father-in-law, God bless him, his name was Zeke, he would make the best gravy. I used to live 5 minutes from him. He'd call me up on a Sunday. He calls me Carlo. Carlo, I'm making the gravy. 7 o'clock in the morning, my day off. I'd go over there, stand side by side with him, and we would make the gravy and the meatballs. But mine never came out the way he did. And I'm going to make them a little different. He made it so simple. It was the best gravy and meatballs I ever had in my life. The guy could cook macaroni like you wouldn't believe. And he was a hell of a guy, and I miss him to this day. He was like a father to me. Anyways, I got my onions here. I'm going to put my olive oil a little bit in the pan. Now, this is the way Zeke did it. He would take a little bit of ground beef. I guess he would do this for flavor. And he would get the ground beef going. Okay, and then what he did was interesting to me. He would take tomato paste and he would fry it. And he cooked with a lot of pepper, but not salt, and he didn't use garlic at all in his gravy. And he believed in like natural flavors. So I have a basic going here. Let me get my onions, I don't want them to burn. Okay. I got my tomato paste is frying here. Okay. All right, I'm going to take these off, let these cool down. Okay, now we got the tomato paste. Okay, now it's time. Let me let these cool down in the freezer for a few. All right, now we're going to add the steamed tomatoes in here. You're going to add water too. Whoop. One. And here's the other one. And we're going to add cold water, get all the rest of it out. One. Whoop. We use the other one, and as it goes on, you might add a little more water, and you give it a stir. Now, this is where you're going to add your salt, pepper, a little basil, oregano. And here I got some parsley. I got a little basil. Okay. Salt. This is kosher salt again, so it's not really salty like I explained before. And I like using fresh pepper, ground pepper, because that pepper you buy, you don't realize that it's stale. The pepper you see on a table in a restaurant, that's probably been there for a year, and they just keep filling it up. And I just like fresh pepper. Okay. Then I'm going to mix this in, and a lot of people don't like it, but I add a little sugar to it because it has acid in it. I've seen people use a carrot. I've seen, you know, other ways to get it out, but I do add a little sugar, as you see. And that's it, just to get the acid out of it. And we're going to let this cook, and then we're going to come over here and do the meatballs. These cans are the best to hold your spoons in. All the old Italians use that. You know, they go out and they buy something and to hold the can in. You don't need to do that. All right, now we got meatballs, or you can call it a ball of meat. Okay. First, we are going to put in the eggs. Then we're going to put in the milk. Like I said, about a cup. Then we're going to put in the chopped garlic. Okay, there's the garlic. Then a little salt and pepper. And not the cheese will give it a salty flavor also. My pepper mill is not coming out. Here it is. I just changed this, so Here we go. Okay, now we're going to add breadcrumb. I don't like to use it all because in case you have to add. And then about 1.5 cups of cheese. You don't want your meatballs tasting too cheesy. And like I made meatloaf the other day, you don't want your meatloaf tasting like meatballs, and you don't want your meatballs tasting like meatloaf. So, and then tomato paste. Okay. Let me give this a little, turn this down. And then we're going to put this on the hot plate now. Give this a stir. And then turn that on number 2. Okay. What am I forgetting here? I got everything. Now we are going to mix. I like mixing with one hand to keep the other one dry. Okay, I'm going to add in my parsley. So I get that mixed up a little bit. And I'm going to add my basil. And now we're going to mix it up. It's not too wet. Like I said, everybody has their own way of making meatballs, and you know, I've been making this one for a little while, and I like it. It's all that matters. People say I don't smile enough. Okay? Cooking can be fun, especially if the cleaning up sucks, though. But. Okay, these are ready, and I'm going to get a pan ready, and we'll fry the meatballs. Okay. Now the onions are cooled down. We're going to put those in here in the mixture. And then we're going to make, you can call them meatballs, or you can call them a ball of meat. Anyways. Okay. This looks really good. Good consistency on it. The cameraman's making me laugh. Okay. In fact, after today, you're fired. All right. I like to do my meatballs like, well, kind of like maybe 2 ounces. That. And let me do a few of these, and then we'll be right back. Okay, now we're going to fry up the meatballs. We got olive oil in here. You can bake them in the oven. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think it comes out much better if you fry them in olive oil. There's just ain't nothing better. Everybody in the pool. Okay. Turn that down a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm actually just searing them. And they're going to finish cooking in the sauce. So, you know, just like meat, you know, you sear it, you get a nice brown crust on it. And that's all you're doing. Like I says, I have no problem with putting them in the, if I was doing them in the oven, this is what I would do. I would take a spray bottle with olive oil and spray the coating of the olive oil on the meatballs. And I would turn it on at least 400 degrees for 15 minutes and get a nice crust on them. Then turn it down at 300, say. and then cook them for a little while that way. But remember, they finish in the sauce. Some people take raw meatballs and put them in the sauce, which I wouldn't recommend that at all. But to each their own. See the bottom of that? It's really quite not seared yet, so we gotta let these go for a little while. Just let them cook and do their thing. Okay, I just got done frying the meatballs. I'm gonna let them sit here, let the grease drain a little bit, and I'm gonna add them to the sauce in a little bit. I forgot to mention, for my meat, I used ground veal, ground pork, and ground beef. Mixture of all three. That's the way I was taught. But tell you the truth, I do like 100% ground beef sometimes, but this adds a different flavor. So whatever you want to do. Okay? Okay, the meatballs, I started putting them in the gravy. They'll sit in here for a couple of hours. As you can see, I seared them off. To some people, they might look burnt, but they're seared. That's the way I like them. They'll sit in the sauce and they'll get nice and soft. Then I'm going to submerge it in. Then we're going to put them back over here on the crock pot. And everybody's in the pool, and we will let it sit for a couple of hours. And then I will taste one and see how it goes. Okay? Okay, I just took one out. I'm gonna try it and see how they are. My mind just got blown. Boom! It was that good.